The muscular system, Part 2. Let's consider the types of muscular contraction, of which there are three main types. Isotonic. An isotonic contraction takes place when a muscle is contracting whilst shortening or lengthening. When a muscle contracts while shortening, it is known as a concentric contraction. For example, during the flexion phase of a biceps curl. When a muscle contracts whilst lengthening, it is known as an eccentric contraction. The biceps muscle in the bicep curl example is contracting eccentrically during the extension or the down phase of the movement. Isotonic contractions involve movement. Isometric. An isometric contraction takes place when the muscle remains the same length throughout the contraction. Tension is high, but there is no limb movement. Isometric contractions are static. Isokinetic. An isokinetic contraction occurs when the speed of movement stays the same throughout the range of the movement. This contraction type usually occurs in a controlled environment, such as a rehabilitation setting. Muscle fiber types. Skeletal muscle tissue is made up of a combination of both fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers. All people have both types of these muscle fibers. However, usually one type will dominate, which is based on genetics and exercise history. If you are good at jumping high, you probably have a larger proportion of fast twitch muscle fibers in your body. If you are better at exercising, such as running and cycling for long periods of time, then you probably have a larger proportion of slow twitch muscle fibers in your body. Slow twitch muscle fibers have a very good oxygen supply, can work for long periods without tiring, are not as big or as strong as fast twitch fibers, take longer to contract than fast twitch fibers, are used in all types of exercise. Fast twitch muscle fibers do not have a good oxygen supply, tire quickly, are bigger and stronger than the slow twitch fibers, contract very quickly, are used for rapid, powerful movements. Our muscles work together. Skilled movement takes place as a result of many muscles operating in a variety of ways. Prime movers or agonists start movement and are the main muscle responsible for performing the movement. For example, the biceps brachii are the prime mover or agonist for elbow flexion. Antagonists oppose prime movers. Typically, when a prime mover is contracting concentrically, the antagonist is contracting eccentrically. In the bicep curl example, the triceps brachii muscle is the antagonist to the biceps brachii muscle. Synergists are usually smaller muscles which act to reduce unnecessary movement, such as providing a stable base for the antagonist to operate and to fine-tune movements. Our joints act as hinges. Our muscles use our bones as levers. When muscles contract, they initiate movement. In our body, levers consist of an applied force, which is the muscle strength generated by muscle contraction. A resistive force or load, which is the weight of the body plus any external resistance added, such as weight training equipment. And a hinge or axis of rotation, which is the joint. Levers exist in three classes. First class. The muscle force is on one side of the joint or axis of rotation, and the resistive force is on the other side. Examples include head flexion and extension. Second class. The applied force and the resistive force are on the same side of the axis of rotation, but the applied force is further away from the axis of rotation than the resistive force. This means that force production has a mechanical advantage. Examples include ankle plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. Third class. The applied force and the resistive force are on the same side of the axis of rotation, but the resistive force is further away from the axis of rotation than the applied force. This means that the applied force has a mechanical disadvantage. Examples include elbow flexion and extension. Applied to the previous example, we can see that this is a third-class lever system. The applied force and the resistive force are on the same side as the axis of rotation. However, the resistive force is further away from the axis of rotation when compared to the applied force, therefore making this a third-class lever system.